2019. We're here in the women's division quarter-final. We have Deskeagh out of the Republic of Ireland taking on Bristol women, reigning UK champions. And it is Deskeagh coming out on offense. We're straight into this game as the last men's quarter went on a little bit too long, but Chevron able to take the win there. And we see Bristol women coming out with a zone here straight off the bat. Leanne O'Neill now at the disc. She's got some guns and she's locked and loaded and wants to send it to a little short pass here to Sarah Melvin. We'll be seeing a lot of her, Euro star from last year, possibly one for this year. Rumors are out there. And yeah, it's sunny now in Bruges. Things starting to heat up as we get into the knockout stages. You may have seen the Bristol women's game earlier. We had the longest point in the history of time.
I saw a little bit of it. I think I said I left. I went to go get waffles for the crew.
And this floating up here, and it's Sarah Melvin under it. And she's going to be hard to beat in the air. I do like that matchup, though, against Bailey Melvin Tang.
They've been hard to beat all weekend by the sounds of it. Have they succumbed to loss, or are they coming in undefeated?
Did lose to the Swiss national team, who had a rocky road, but are in the quarterfinals. I can't remember who exactly they're playing. I think it might be the Belgian women. Yeah, I'll get up the bracket here. I know the quarterfinals are coming soon. Yeah, the quarterfinals, I'll read all of them out in the women's division. Cup Shout versus GB Women's Masters. Deskeagh versus Bristol, which we're showing live here. And yes, it is the Belgian national team versus the Swiss national team. We have the Amsterdam Ultimate Ladies against Germany U24. So that is the 8 teams in the quarterfinals in the women's division. Yeah, and Deskeagh, yeah, I talked about him a little bit on the podcast. Notably mispronounced the name, classically. Yeah, the EAGH, I've been told, is pronounced Deskeagh, as in Clonyskeagh, an area in Dublin. Gaelgore Sive Long pointed out to me that
that's a person's name.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't said it. I wish I'd get you to pronounce it. I will later. I'll trick you into mispronouncing your name at some stage.
It wouldn't take too much of a trick, I don't think.
Here's Alice Beeching, who played half of that mammoth point, which is too much time for any one point, just half of it.
As I was saying, I left to go get waffles for the whole crew. I waited in line, 12 waffles later, came back and the point was still on.
Yeah, and we were still waffling away during that whole time. See Alice Beeching getting used there. She's really impressed me. Very, very athletic player. Anya Gilheany picking up the disc to Leanne O'Neill, who is definitely not afraid to send it. That is looked like a good hook, but drops a little short, aiming for Alana Archer and Jessica Chambers. Two big receivers, both going deep. Bristol's waste no time. Guess this one motoring. Deskeagh playing a match defense on the line here now. Looking for that upline cut. Eventually gets it off. The Victoria will be. And again, the forever free Beeching.
Can't be covered.
Yeah. Now patient, now slowing things down.
I think it's a nice day again.
Yeah, it actually, this seems like, I wish it was like this the whole day. And it's shot that ends in high stall count. Might work out, and it does. And a stall out being called. It did seem like quite a long time.
I was going to say, just the way they drew that one up. Wait till stall 9 and then throw it to the stack.
Yeah, Michelle Lee tapping her head. I think it is. Looks like it's going to be an uncontested stall out.
So, as we've mentioned, if you've been following all our games, this weather has been on, it's been off. We've had hail, rain, heavy winds. The sun is thankfully peeking its way through, and the wind is, it's up, but it's not as high as it's been. So this is reasonably good conditions for what we've seen thus far in Bruges.
That was a second attempt at hook towards Alana Archer. Definitely the tallest player on this Irish women's team, but can't rule that one. Eventually, a few turnovers, and there's a Deskeagh player to mop it up. Michelle Lee, usually playing with Rebel Ultimate. Here in the men's division, Leanne O'Neill sends a high one. Jessica Chambers trying to fight for position. Does well. Eventually reads it.
ran a circle around her defender and still took the disc from what looked like a worse position than she started off in.
Yeah, definitely worse position. Just trying to make it hard for herself, you know.
Make it count for more.
Little Irish jig around her defender there. The old dizziness trick. But yeah, has those long arms, able to reel it in, always wearing gloves. Was recently concussed. Maybe that had something to do with a read there. But most importantly, caught the disc. And yeah, I also got some stick in the podcast for saying I didn't know if they're going to come here to just have fun or take things seriously. And I found out they're both having fun and taking things seriously. You can do both.
It is possible. You got to be really good to do both. But they're proven a very pleasant surprise. I guess expectations weren't super high, and maybe they're using that as a bit of extra fuel, but they're really turning some heads.
Yeah, because they came to the tournament last year, same kind of vibe. Oh, let's go have fun, and they lost a lot of games, and I think, you know, top players don't like losing. That's just it. You're not going to be a top player in a sport and like to lose. So they decided, yeah, we're going to have fun, but we really want to win because they are top athletes, and that means a big deal to them.
I think it's a healthy attitude.
Murphy now at the disc. Well, that was a wayward pass to the break side. Melvin now has a deep shot. Looking for long. Can she reel it in? Oh, and a great read and a goal. Deskeagh off to a great start.
Making it look easy out there. Beautiful huck. Chased down without much of a problem. Had to reroute herself a little bit, but the throw was that good. Melvin wasted no time. I think she put it up before the receiver ever had to look back to know it was in play.
Yeah, I like that. You got an open shot, take it. And that is the Dingle woman Long. I'm going to get to try to pronounce her first name here.
Okay, so that must be Sabda? Sabah?
Yeah.
Sabah?
No. That is, in fact, Sive Long who caught the winning goal.
Sive Long.
Sive. That's how you spell Sive in Irish.
Sive. I thought the whole thing was supposed to be Sive Long. That says Sive, not in the language I grew up learning, but I guess if they speak that in Ireland too, and that's the way you guys do things, I'll settle.
Just
Sive it is.
Just ignore consonants in Irish. Especially if there's a load of them together.
Yeah, but how does there's B's and H's? I don't know how they come in to make a sive, but I've seen that in a Neve as well with the Irish vernacular, how they spell things. Baffling every time.
And Bristol's find themselves trailing by 3 here in the quarterfinal. Had a very tough group stage game, so that may be impacting on them. Trying to tread through that zone, and Sarah Melvin comes flying across. Not sure if she just got a fingertip to that, but definitely did enough to get the turnover. Looking to go 4-0 here as they set up their offense. Leanne O'Neill trundles in her trousers up to the disc.
I don't think she did get a touch.
Marked by Lily. Oh, sent it to Melvin. Marked by Beeching. That was a good matchup there, but two athletic players, the offensive players, often going to come out on top. Yeah, and they're playing like champions right now.
Looking good, just smacking around Bristol here. And Sarah Melvin, I don't think she did get a touch, but she got so close that she definitely earned that D, and then came straight back at it. And we'll still call it bookends, even though her hand wasn't on the D. It was because of her that got it and made the safe cut there, as we saw again, to get open into space for a nice, easy conversion.
Some Rebel Ultimate players here in the sidelines to cheer on Deskeagh, one of the bottom bracket teams, deep down in the bottom pools in the men's divisions, deep down. A handsome man, Ben Noonan, would have coached a lot of these players on the sideline here.
And so I didn't notice that there was a timeout taken clearly by Bristol. You'd have to imagine they've got to do something here to change the flow, flip the switch, stop the bleeding, however you want to call it, but conceding 4 in a row to start the game. is definitely not the way they probably foresaw this going.
Some crack dealers there on the sideline.
Oh, look at that orange afro. That is something else.
Alan Reedy, king of the gingers.
King of the
Literally.
gingers. I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be a debate about that.
I know. I was going to go to the event to see if we become king. I rang Alan. He's like, I'm going. I'm not.
How do they make a crown for that kind of afro?
It's lost. He's wearing it right now.
You just got to get the chainsaw out to find it.
Yeah, crack dealers having minus crack at the moment, to be honest with you. Had a universe point loss against Chevron on the first day, and since then it's kind of been a slippery slope, slippery throats as well. But yeah, focusing on the women here, Deskeagh have been sensational, and the team looks class. They've a great balance to this team. A lot of big hookers, good deep receivers, and again, just having fun maybe helps sell the team.
No, the pull even skipped away there.
And now see Bristol's after that timeout. Can they settle this ship? A few poaches in the lane from, again, gathered up eventually by Bristol's. You see doing so well there. This zone here from the Irish team. Melvin Tang, oh, slips through this again, gathers it up. No turn so far in this point for Bristol, but there's been a few loose discs. Staying in the zone, right outside the end zone, Deskeagh. Looking like a bit of a 2-3-2 here. Forcing to the middle. Murph wants that inside shot, and Melvin Tang is there. Hasn't had a big impact the game so far, but they need to have a good game if they are to get back in this, and they get their first point on the board. Melvin Tang with the assist, and they're pumped up now.
It was a great play by Piazzolla Ramirez to keep that one alive after it went over the head of Melvin Tang there. Kept the play alive. I was surprised that Deskeagh stayed in zone there into their end zone, especially after the flub there, the almost turnover that hung on. I thought they would maybe switch. It is tough, of course, to melt out of a zone with little space to work with, but there were lots of holes in that zone with little space until the score.
That was a lofty biscuit there, high release, but loads of time, 2 players and they need it.
Chuck and pie.
I think that was Jess Taylor with the score. Not 100% sure on that one. We'll get their first score on the board. Anya Gahaney picking up now, vert stack. First cut to the break side. Tough mark from Alice Beeching, has to go for the reset. It's Jess Chambers on the break side. Back to Gilahini, has to get to the ground to keep it alive. To Estelle Merkin now. Bristol's doing well to contain. Oh, the disc in the air, and the Bristol players did not see it live. There was a pick called. I'm not sure if it affected the play, but these tend to go back either way.
Really well read in the end by the Irish receiver, whether there's a call and it will go back, but she did well to come around the blind defender and keep a high hand on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the greatest option from Estelle, but she'll get another whack at it. Anya Haney to Emma Healy, the safe hands Cork woman. And you see a big buttery biscuit the end zone to Melvin, catches it under pressure. And then the lefty dish backhand. Ange Wilkinson was doing her best to try and stop that deep shot, but Melvin is a Eurostar for a good reason.
What a read by Sarah Melvin. The cut was nice, the throw was nice, but that last second step and just holding her ground while the defender closed it, and to hang on to that, great poise, great attention to that disc.
And I'm kind of a little embarrassed that I did not pick Deskeagh to make semi-finals in my picks on the Eurozone podcast.
Yeah, you should be.
I should be.
Not like I would have picked them either. I didn't know that they had this kind of prowess coming out of Ireland for this tournament, but it is great to see. I'll tell you what, I know it's club system and you know, uniform colors don't say much, but seeing the pink and white and a pineapple on there, I just would, if I saw them in the marquee, I would never guess that that was an Irish team based on the uniform.
Deskeagh means pineapple in Irish.
Ah, well, that makes a bit of sense then. I guess they do get pineapples in Ireland, even though it's not a tropical country.
That was a lie. It does not mean pineapple in Irish, but it's a lie they like to tell everyone. So
I love it when you lie to me.
Yeah, I think pineapple is anan, which it is in many languages. I think.
I mean, don't they speak English in Ireland?
Yeah, some variation of it.
Is it Gaelic? Is that Irish, as far as language goes?
Something like that.
Yeah,
It's a secret
right.
language.
Yeah.
Gaelga.
We'll probably not get to the bottom of this one in the course of this broadcast.
And this goes up and swatted down by this Irish defense.
And
Again,
the wind certainly did pick up there. It's gusty all day long, as we keep saying, but right then and there was certainly a big old gust.
Leanne O'Neill looking for the inside flick, gets it off. Now for the reset from Sophie Farnan. And the space, oh, that one a bit too bladey. Oh, can she get on the second attempt? Oh, everything's coming up. Deskeagh, they are just on fire. Unfortunate, that probably defensive attempt probably helped her out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she would have been better to do nothing. The throw wasn't going to get there on its own. She mid-air correction and popped it into the hands of the Deskeagh receiver. And it's a downhill steamrolling now, 6-2. The Irish squad looking strong. You can all but book their tickets. Sorry, it's 6-1. Scoreboard on the other side of the field taking some effect to the wind off there. You see the MAC again.
I think that was Louise Combs with the goal. Couldn't quite see the number. But yeah, happy for that defensive touch to wang it up into the air again. Leanne O'Neill will get the assist all the same as she prepares for this pull. The score now 6-1. You wouldn't expect to see such a wide margin in knockout play.
Bristol, the only point they got did come on the heels of a timeout. It could be time for another one.
Yeah, I think you only one timeout per team.
Oh, then that's not going to work.
Yeah, you're limited in your options here, Tom Tourney. No half times, one timeout. They want to keep things moving. We'll see this zone again. Looks like it's a bit of an arrowhead now. See, just Estelle Merkin on the chase there. Finds some space in the middle to Beeching. Mixing it up their zone looks here. Deskeagh. Oh, Blady backhand. Oh, tipped out the hands of Spears, who caught the winning goal in the match earlier. Can't reel that one in though.
Floats away from where it looked like it was, there was a little bit of an opportunity. Had a body been able to be in position to lay out, it could have changed it, but people were flat-footed as they were looking up.
And Mahili with a nice undercut, been marked by Wilkinson, who has graced the commentary booth a couple of times. I've had the pleasure of working with her. Oh, an amazing rescue grab, but conservation of greatness there.
Indeed. Awesome with the hands, not so amazing with the release.
That was LEP, famous rapper coming out of Birmingham with that layout grab. Two kind of pickups for this team. Not that it exactly is a team that trains or anything like that, but friends with Alana Archer. Alice Beeching now. Ooh, that one, I know it's going to work out.
Too much zip.
Looking for Spears again. Spears, part of the Frisbee family. along with some of her brothers who play for Smog. I believe she plays for Smog in the mixed division as well. O'Neill again now. Oh, and a great pick off by Alice Beeching. This is what they need to do if they want to get back in the game. Good defensive plays like that, bit of help defense. Oh, and a shot to the end zone. Can she get it? Oh, and a little too low and running out of space. That was a big opportunity for Bristol's.
Yeah, a turn in a short field. They could have, would have loved to cash that one in, but not in the cards this time around.
Again, we see the two from the back of the stack initiating to cut there for Deskeagh, but I think Bristol's have started to recognize that. But Healy gets free on the second cut. Looking for a reset. Who's eventually coming? And there was a pick called, and it definitely was a pick. Spears cut off from defending. O'Neill is going to catch up now. LEP free in the inside channel. I think there was a violation there. The other players were not ready to come back in. Important for the Bristol player on the mark there. It's up to them to check that their teammates are ready.
Don't tap it in until your team is ready. You're absolutely right. Very spirited for the Irish to allow it to go back. It's the right thing to do, but maybe in a game that had a bit more marbles on the line, that one could be contested and blamed on the mark.
Shot to, oh, Spears with a great defensive play, running out of space. O'Neill, Healy getting high in the stall count as well. So this is a good point for Bristol. They haven't scored it yet, but they're playing a lot better than they have earlier on in this game.
Comes right to our press box to pick up the disc before bringing it into play. We even got some eye contact there.
Carla Link with the low release flick. Smiles all around from this Bristol team anyway. They're not letting the 6-1 deficit upset them. And we said we get see this arrowhead zone from Deskeagh. Beeching puts up the spear. It's not the first time this point. Can't she get there in time? And oh, the big presence of Leanne O'Neill gathers that one up. Wearing a rain jacket, I believe, under her singlet.
Snowman suit.
Yeah. One glove as well, the offhand glove. What's your feelings on that?
I don't mind on the offhand. Actually, I don't mind gloves. I used to rip on glove wearers. I used to think it was gimmicky, but I think that they've got their merits. If it works for you, if you like the grip, if you like the feel, if you can get a nice touch out of it, why not?
Foul call there. I don't know. Did the foul? I think the foul even affected the throw. I think that's the big thing I'd say here. Like, people say this, it's like, that's exactly where she intended to throw the disc.
Yeah. And
there was a poach there, and that's how they got the defensive play. It's going to be uncontested. Okay, maybe. Okay, it's uncontested. Maybe there is slight differentiation in the angle she wanted to release. But
where else did she want that disc to go?
I think she was throwing straight into the poach, in my opinion.
If she threw the other side, she was throwing into the coverage.
Yeah, I don't think she saw Gilhaney there at all. But she'll get a second attempt at this. Gilhaney completely just sitting in the lane. And now the crossfield pass.
They find the poach. Make him pay for it if she's going to sit in the lane like that. They get their chances of the D, but if you can recognize, you should be screaming that out, letting everybody know there's a poach and finding where that player is. And maybe without the screaming this time, but they found the poach and they made him pay.
Yeah, that was Sophie Hayden-Scott.
We saw earlier in the point, well, let's see this replay here. There's the goal. All alone. But we saw earlier in the point it was 31 for Bristol. That's Lily Spears. She was running down on a straight line for a huck reception. And the defensive presence, it was quite funny. You saw her put her right arm out to try and make a reach for it, but to change her path to the left with the defensive presence coming from the Irish defender. Just threw her right off the line. I think no defender there. She's got it. If she ran her course and was willing to put the body on the line. I think she may have got there. Maybe she was avoiding body contact, doing the right thing, avoiding dangerous play there. But it's amazing how you just saw her come off her course from the presence of the defender.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to go shoulder to shoulder with Leanne O'Neill. Strong player. I think she comes from a GA background. She was definitely not afraid of the contact. She wasn't going to pull out. But yeah, maybe right by Spears, you know, this is a non-contact sport, or at least want to avoid it if possible.
Exactly.
Melvin Tang, distant relation of Sarah Melvin, possibly.
Possibly not.
Both really good players, so they have that in common.
Yep. And a similar word in their last name, if not the entire last name.
Michelle now getting high stock on the sideline. The Bristol defense has been much better in the latter half of this game, and they've forced that turnover. Now with a shorter field to work with, second attempt here. Let's see what they can do. Georgia Murphy strolling to pick up this disc.
With the
nice flick break. Lin Chiang.
Great throw.
Crossfield now good. Swinging end zone offense, but oh, they shoot to it now, and again they set up that poach and it flies over everybody. It was a good poach, but didn't anticipate the disc coming in so high.
Jess Taylor cleaning up the trash there after everybody else missed.
I think that's the first break of the game for Bristol Ultimate. 90% sure on that. Not keeping stats exactly, but by memory, I'm pretty sure that's Bristol's first break as they come crawling, clawing back into this game. But the defense was so much better than it's been throughout this game from Bristol, so they earned that one. Even though it did sail over a lot of people and may not have been the intended receiver, but Jess Taylor gets another score on the board for Bristol Ultimate. And again, Ali Tinknell not here, as I said earlier. Unfortunately, her dog is sick and cannot make the flight over.
Sad news.
Yeah. Get better soon to Ali's Bucci, don't know the name. But I'm sure, no doubt, watching the live stream.
That wind just picked up again.
Yeah.
Missed a bit of what you heard even, but wow, is it cutting now, coming straight in our faces.
As Deskeagh looks straight in the face of a semi-final at Tom's Tourney, have the lead here. Anya Gilhaney shoots to Melvin. That's the second time they've thrown it too low for her. She smacks the ground. I don't think there's anything she could do about that one.
No, thrower error, not quite enough under that one.
She is a great receiver, but you do have to throw it not into the ground. It's key. And it's Beaching now. Holsters that flick hook. Two big fakes. Wilkinson working hard to get free. Oh, chips it as he tries that edge grab.
Almost macked it on to the next player there.
Yeah, maybe that's what she was trying to do. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Melvin on the under now. She rifles the backhand herself. This one's could go anywhere with this wind. Oh, great read by Estelle. Maybe a foul called on Link.
I think she's got some justification for that call. She was coming over the back of her shoulder there. Not quite backpacking. She didn't jump up that much, but she was on top of her. Let's have another look. She's got all the position. Oh, that defensive hand was quite slappy.
Yeah, it would have been hard for Link not to foul in an attempt to get that defensive play. Estelle had position, kind of got her hands up before, almost protecting the disc, and made it very difficult as she held that position.
Let's see how they resolve this one. Foul, non-contest.
What does it say there in the back of the Bristol's jersey there, Stefan?
Nice Bristol's. Be ultimate.
I apologize to all the listeners who may have heard an offensive phrase there from my co-commentator.
This is the second time I've been set up to say something like this. Well, actually, the first time I set myself up.
Yes.
They're still wearing the jerseys.
They're still wearing the jerseys. Bristol Ultimate do have the words "Nice Bristol's" on their jerseys. I don't know if it's offensive for us to read their jerseys. They have a big talking point, though, as UK champions changed their name. But Leffley is still the same great players.
New name on paper.
Ange Wilkinson, nice grab in the air. Fakes the flick hook. First time, sends it a second again to Spears. Oh, bounces out of her hands.
Right through her. That throw came off beautifully right onto Spears, but she couldn't close the wrists on it. Couldn't shut the hands.
Yeah, me and Spears both went to Hogwarts, Gryffindor, as you may have guessed. Alana Archer with the huge sky there, the GB under-24 player. Actually from the US, but has British parents, so eligible to play for the UK. Melvin isolated the front now, but instead goes to Jess Chambers. Bounces off her hand, unfortunately. Yeah, but Alana Archer made that huge sky. I believe her father works for British Airways.
Handy for flights.
Yeah, she is owning the skies here in Bruges, though. Tough matchup against Alice Beeching. Oh, and a big touch, Molly Gahaney. Gathered on the second attempt from Sorson Bentham. And a big hook to Ange Wilkinson. Drifts over Owen. Leanna Neal probably got a vital touch there. Now picks up again. Melvin is in acres of space. Estelle Merkin's gone. And she does the backhand. That one could work out. Oh. And I'm not sure if there's a call again. I don't think there was that time. Yeah, we see. Oh,
there she is going.
No call, no call. They just had a little high five, I think. Everyone's standing still like there was a call.
Yeah,
though.
What's going on? Give us some hand signals.
This point getting rather long, but still significantly shorter than the one we experienced earlier. One we'll never forget.
The point of all points. The point with combined length of all points.
Yeah, longer than all the other points combined in that earlier game of Bristol Ultimate versus
French women.
French national team, yes, who got knocked down and are out.
Playing for Ninals.
Playing for Ninals, El Clasico. Not sure what's happened here, but Melvin Tang is running onto the field.
Yeah, it must be an injury.
Yeah.
Is it Beeching that's walking off, holding her wrist by the looks of things?
Yeah, she is nursing that wrist on the sideline. I hope she's fit to continue. It does look like her left hand, so. Oh, and Melvin has to dive to the ground again. I don't know how the shirt stayed so white.
Actually, it's starting to change color.
Actually, it's not white. It's quite dirty. Because she's been laying out all over the shop.
Yeah, she is not afraid to throw the body around. That was clear evidence of that. There was really no chance. But she was going to make sure she did everything she could.
Great form from the woman living in Mayo. A lot of teams trying to draft her for Irish mixed nationals this year. Kind of bounces around between teams. Unfortunately, can't train as regularly as she'd like. Doing a higher diploma to become a school teacher.
Another wonderful profession.
Neil Haney now again wearing that blue hat, known for top quality hat game and backhand hooks. This one much better towards Melvin and reads it fantastically. Grabs in the air. That's where you want to put it, in the air for Melvin.
What a play. Like, she really just made that. I mean, she didn't make it look easy, and it wasn't easy, but wow, she took it in stride, still going up, made it look a bit ordinary maybe. And that is not an ordinary kind of catch. She was at full speed, above her head. Came sailing in from the blue pom-pom. Deskeagh doing all the things to make that gap bigger.
See here, the buttery biscuits straight away from Anya Gilhaney. Melvin's actually set up at the front of the stack, looped around the back, and that's a connection they love. Melvin actually went to University of Limerick, Anya Gilhaney, University College Dublin. Have you ever seen a pineapple growing?
I have seen pineapples grow on very small trees, yes. They come up out of the top of what's a palm-looking tree, yeah. I've spent a fair bit of time in the tropics. I've seen a few pineapples bloom.
Yeah, I remember first time I saw a pineapple growing in Hawaii, and it's not how many people would think. Many people expect maybe hanging from a tree, like almost like a coconut.
It's like the head of a small tree, kind of.
Yeah, it's almost like the head of a plant, or.
Yeah, I definitely. The first time I saw it, I was blown away that that's how they came to be. Though I didn't really guess otherwise. I didn't have any other additional expectations.
You ever seen a courgette grow, or a zucchini, you might call it?
I would call them both. I would native tongue say zucchini. Yes, I've seen courgettes come out of the ground.
As we see Melvin Tang shoot out of the ground there with a big sky grab. She is an athlete. And nice Bristol's looking to get another score on the board. Big fakes, but that one was not her teammate.
She wants that one back for sure. Wind up.
Oh, wasting no time. Emma Healy. Oh, a little casual there. Stuck her hand out and completely missed it.
Misreads, yep. Just.
It was a miscatch more than.
Yeah, miscatch. The focus just left somewhere. Maybe the sun caught her eye. Maybe she looked up for the next throw. Who knows? But it was there for the taking.
She's actually wearing Star Wars plasters on her face, almost like war paint. Because it is
May the Fourth be with you.
Yeah, the Force not with her on that one there.
It was not. But she may get some force still.
Again, the ski zone defense stifling Bristol's at time, just hanging out in the lane, confusing them. Nice big around swing. Oh, and through the middle, and it almost works out.
Gets all the way through the zone where we thought those falling bodies might get a hand, and then gets to the intended receiver in the end, and she can't close the fingers on it.
LEP sends the flick, boom. Demi Healy, and the Force is with her on this one. Yoda.
She will not be denied. I am your father.
Jedi mind tricks there. She reels it in the second time. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Well, you know, I like the original three. I saw one after The Phantom Menace, and I think Jar Jar Binks threw me right off. And,
can't hate on Jar Jar Binks.
I stopped watching. I haven't seen any of the other ones, but I like Empire Strikes Back of the original three the best. The middle one was my fave. And you?
Ooh, I think I liked episode one. Is that Darth Maul, isn't it?
That is Darth Maul, yeah.
it.
I mean, I like the two-sided saber.
Yeah, that was cool. If you, I don't want to Game of Thrones spoilers, but there was a similar two-sided kind of spear action going on in this, and then broke up into two, which was maybe foreshadowed in how Darth Maul did it. Any Game of Thrones fans out there will know what I'm talking about.
I unfortunately don't. Sorry.
You don't watch Game of Thrones?
No, not a single episode, not a stitch of it, and not much interest to get there.
And we are watching it. Game of Thrones here as that one hits Ange Wilkinson right in the chest, gathers it up. Again, this zone effective from the ski, not allowing the athleticism really of Bristol's to shine through, making them put this like this in the air.
That thing floated forever. It kept going up and up. Good to see Beeching back out there after holding her wrist and taking an injury break earlier.
Ooh, a spicy shot to the end zone. Lana Archer comes flying in and bats that one out of the sky. So Alana Archer has a tattoo under her lip. You ever see those under lip tattoos?
Yeah, yeah. What does hers say?
Yas.
Yas.
Y-A-S-S.
Oh, goodness.
And she's a friend with a similar tattoo. Can you guess what the other tattoo says?
Oh, I don't even, like, I mean, I wanted to say something like no, but there's got to be something more hip that I'm not quite with that goes with Yas.
It is, in fact, Yas Queen, as Link resets the disc to Beeching. Oh, and that, again, there's some spicy throws coming out from Bristol's right now. Alana Archer gets another tip. Oh, and Spears has failed 1 or 2 times to catch in the end zone, unfortunately.
A lot of pressure there. That time there was a lot of flailing bodies.
Yeah. Archer's been doing well to try and sweep up the trash. Yeah, and O'Neill, possible fall being called. So Aidan Scott, I don't know if that's a foul now. Leanne was a bit casual there in her run through and the catch.
Maybe we get another look. No, we get another look at the flailing bodies, but that was a stone cold drop.
Yeah, I thought Link kind of just rushed the throw a little bit and kind of threw it towards her knees. And Spears spun around. Looks like it's going to be an uncontested foul. O'Neill. Melvin now looking to come under, and a good switch there, but ends up with Melvin anyway, who holsters the backhander rocket. O'Neill jinks and jives up the line. Not a lot of options downfield, so she's going to go for the reset. Michelle to Melvin, who again puts up a Buddy Biscuit herself, but can't chase it down. That one just catching the wind maybe a tiny bit.
Too much mustard, maybe catching some of this rain that's coming with the wind. It's back again. I did like Sarah Melvin's up line look there. I love the switch to the lefty backhand when the forehand was available. Just crossed your body a bit there, and it was a beautiful up line to keep that one in play before the eventual throwaway on the over deep shot.
Now back to the more, I want to call it a 2-3-2 zone. Or no more like a 3-2-2.
Or whatever it is, it got the D.
Yeah, Jess Chambers dishes to O'Neill. Oh, an unfortunate drop is maybe the rain coming into play here. Definitely trickier conditions than when the match started.
This it's just unbelievable how much this weather's been coming and going. It's here again now, most certainly. We have found the more we talk about it, the more it clears up. So hopefully we'll be granted that favor again.
Oh, Alice Beachy, I'm glad there's a field mic for that one.
Not too happy with her incomplete catch there.
And Melvin backs her up there.
Trading incompletions all over the place. But we can't dare call anything a marathon point after what you guys were through earlier.
Yeah, that was an Iron Woman.
Beeching on the doorstep.
Link faking the flick. Big swing there to pass. Quickly scampering across Deskeagh's zone defense. I like how they keep it outside the end zone. It makes it exciting. Trying to force them over the top, which they do. And whoa, Alice Beeching gets huge and slaps her own forehead in excitement. I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but I like that celebration. I think it was a bit of frustration for the one that got away from her earlier, and like, goodness, we should have done this before, but at least we got it now, kind of a personal head slapping.
I'm not sure if Spears might have been the intended target there at the back. Alice Beeching shows off her vertical leap. See if we get a little replay of that head smack. Oh, it just missed.
Just missed the head smack. It's like the old Darius Miles. I don't know if you watched the NBA back in the days when Darius Miles played for the Clippers, but that was his celebration, the 2 fists off the head all the time. D Miles. 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes and 15 seconds, in fact, before we're going to hear our game-ending horn. And we've got ourselves a showcase game that everybody is thrilled to be a part of. Deskeagh off and running, another Bristol zone in front of them as they get going. I can't believe they got away with that one over a couple heads. Intended receiver didn't even have a chance at it.
Good to see a Bristol zone here, mixing it up, trying to stop the deep shots from Deskeagh, but possibly running out of time to try and come back in this game, particularly if Deskeagh reel this one in, which they do. Estelle Merkin, this side is a force to be reckoned with in going into the semi-finals.
I hadn't seen a stitch of them up until now, but I mean, they look as good as anyone we've seen. That's fine. I mean, Cusp Shout, I think, looks a bit quicker. We haven't seen him against similar opponents, and maybe I give them a bit of an edge, but short of Cusp Shout, I don't know if I could pick another team that I could say has been substantially or definitively better than what we're seeing here from Deskeagh.
Yeah, some good foreshadowing what's expected this summer with the Irish women's team, because this is maybe 50–60% of the Irish women's team that's going to compete at UUC, and they're missing a lot of strong players. Well, not missing, but will be joined by a lot of strong players with the Irish women's team. So I think they're going to do fantastic this year. A lot of people weren't believing in me, but they might start believing in me now.
They're making believers here. Deskeagh, buying believers, all you watching on Alti TV, surely believing now. Doing all this in the most inclement of conditions. 9-4 up. Time ticking away. 3 minutes to play as that one rolls through the legs. As a bit of a nutmeg pull stop.
Beaching, a kind of high release backhand hook. Looking for Wilkinson, who did well to kind of jostle for position. I think Anya's possibly calling a foul, but I'm not sure who's calling the foul here. Yeah, it looks like the turnover's going to stand anyway. A little strange interaction there. Not sure why she was touching the skin in Anya's hands. Leanne O'Neill chose to the under. Sarah Melvin not really cutting, but just painted at her. Yep. As the weather starts to clear and only 2 minutes left now in the game. Great catch by Sophie, who rifles the flick to Melvin. Good choice in receiver.
Pick your receivers well, especially if you're going to throw speculators.
And I think that
they're shaking hands like it's the end of the game, and nobody's complaining about that one.
It's not the end of the game, but I think just maybe Bristol's have forfeited now, or
I think it's over enough. 10-4 there, little fat buddy. Just like the Dukes of Hazzard, Bristol did what they could, but not enough to really worry Deskeagh at all. They owned this one from beginning to end, Liam.
Yeah, fantastic performance from them. Really blowing all of the predictions out of the water, making the semi-finals. Definitely see them taking gold here.
There's a distinct chance, some definite possibility. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow to find that much out.
But thanks very much for tuning into this women's quarterfinal. Coming up next, Div 2 quarterfinal, I believe.
Gonna be a cracker.
We'll see you guys later.